It's just gone 8 o'clock on this Friday, the 19th of December 2025. You're watching the main news on ZBC live from Pocket Hill in Harare. I am Mona Lisa Dube.
And my name is Malvin Matala. Nobo Maungwa. He's on sign language. We'll also be crossing over to our Montrose studios later on in the bulletin. And Marilyn will be joining us.
Our top stories this evening. President Emmerson Mnangagwa swears in Deputy Ministers Honorable Kevin Mutimba-Nyoka as well as Honorable Fred Moyo.
Meanwhile, the president is also set to preside over the burial of a Brigadier General retired Chimwaza at the National Shrine tomorrow.
In business, the banking community is excited over the removal of foreign currency cash withdrawal levy.
AFCON transcending generations as Zimbabwe fields the youngest player, while Mozambique have the oldest at the tournament. That and more in sport.
President Emmerson Mnangagwa has sworn in the Deputy Minister of Women Affairs, Community, Small and Medium Enterprises Development, Honorable Kevin Mutimba-Nyoka, as well as Mines and Mining Development Deputy Minister, Honorable Fred Moyo, at State House in Harare earlier today. The two Deputy Ministers have pledged to work hard in their new portfolios. Our Chief Correspondent, Ruben Barwe, has the details.
Whereas in terms of subsection 6 of section 104 of the Constitution, before taking office, a deputy minister must take before the president the appropriate ministerial oath in the form set out in the third schedule. And whereas the president has duly appointed you, Fred Moyo and Kevin Mutimba-Nyoka, as deputy ministers of the government of Zimbabwe. Now, therefore, I, Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, do call upon you, Fred Moyo and Kevin Mutimba-Nyoka, to take the oath of Deputy Minister.
The two Deputy Ministers, the Deputy Minister of Mines and Mining Development, Comrade Fred Moyo, and Comrade Kevin Mutimba-Nyoka, who is the Deputy Minister of Women Affairs, Cooperatives and Small and Medium Enterprises, took their office in front of the President, Comrade Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. These two legislators belonged to Zvishavanarunde and the Harare East constituencies. They spoke to journalists soon after swearing in. First to speak to journalists was Comrade Kevin Mutimba-Nyoka.
This is a wonderful opportunity to serve my motherland, and I really want to thank His Excellency for this very opportunity to actually serve Zimbabwe, an opportunity I've always been relishing for a very long time, and finally it has actually come, and I'm going to deliver on the mandate as given by His Excellency.
Then Comrade Fred Moyo, a veteran miner, a veteran administrator, also spoke about what is envisaged to happen in the Mines and Mining Development Ministry.
We have work to do. By the way, if you look at the SME sector, I met my young man who is coming in as my colleague, Deputy Minister, and I said to him, by the way, there is something that your ministry forgets. He says, what? I said, small-scale miners are not mine. They belong to the mining industry technically, but they belong to SMEs administratively. So me and you must work together. It looks like a small thing, but the miners don't know who is their regulator. And of course, in the region, we are the only ones who are not yet automated in the way we manage tenement. Investors worry more about title security than anything else. And we are not in the right place. Where your title is kept in some office, written by a ballpoint or a pencil. In fact, they write with a pencil on maps so that if something changes, they go and rub it off and redraw. you know what can then happen. So these are things that I think we're going to have to sort out. It's not going to be easy, I mustn't say that, but it must be done.
So at the end of the day, the women, small and medium enterprises and the mines and mining industry are key to Zimbabwe's development, especially unlocking the National Development Strategy 2. Ruben Barwe, ZBC News, Harare.
Elsewhere, the Vice President General retired Dr. Constantino Chiwenga has paid tribute to a rare and powerful link between Zimbabwe and India after visiting the grave of a Zimbabwean royal priest in Goa on the sidelines of the Feast of St. Barbara. The visit has brought history, faith and diplomacy together while drawing strong academic interest from Zimbabwean scholars. Now our reporter Abigail Tembo is also in India documenting this historic visit, and she gives us the details.
Here at the Church of Santa Barbara in Goa lies the final resting place of Roman Catholic Reverend Father Miguel, a Dominican priest, son and heir of Emperor Kapararidza of the Monomotapa Empire. His grave stands as living proof that Zimbabwe's historical footprint extends far beyond its borders. According to the inscription, Reverend Father Miguel served as vicar of this church. The visit held on the sidelines of the Feast of St. Barbara drew church leaders and congregants who commended Zimbabwe and Vice President General retired Dr. Constantino Chiwenga for supporting the renovation of the chapel and construction of a tombstone at Father Miguel's grave.
I also take this opportunity with much joy to express our wholehearted and profound gratitude to Your Excellency for assisting us with the renovation works.
This chapel is a cornerstone of our identity, beacon of our past, and a promise for our future. Your Excellency's generosity has been the wind beneath our wings to undertake the gigantic task.
Addressing congregants, Vice President Chiwenga said the Feast of St. Barbara and the historic chapel serve as a reminder of the shared heritage and enduring ties between Zimbabwe and Goa.
Our celebration reflects the values of faith, courage, and community, emphasizing the need to strengthen relationships between Zimbabwe and Goa. Our historical connections can pave the way for greater cultural exchange, trade, and collaboration in various sectors. By fostering these ties, we create opportunities for our people to engage more closely, learn from one another, and work together towards common goals.
For Zimbabwe, this site is more than just a grave. It is a historical archive in stone, telling a story of African royalty, faith, and global engagement long before modern diplomacy. Father Miguel's journey from Southern Africa to Goa in the late 17th century reflects early encounters between Africa, Europe, and Asia, shaped by trade, faith, and diplomacy. As vicar of the Church of Santa Barbara from 1700 to 1726, Father Miguel played a significant role in religious life in Goa, becoming a bridge between continents and cultures, and leaving behind a legacy that continues to link Zimbabwe and India more than 3 centuries later. As Zimbabwe reclaims its story, this visit sends a clear message that heritage is not just about the past, but about shaping identity, diplomacy, and development for the future. Abigail Tembo, ZBC News, Goa.
Meanwhile, Vice President Colonel retired Dr. Kembo Mahadi says government is working with development partners in order to ensure health facilities are accessible nationwide. He said this as he received mobile outreach vans from the World Bank in Harare.
Vice President Mohadi received the mobile outreach vans and minibuses procured under the Zimbabwe COVID-19 response and essential health services project that ran from April 2022 to June 2025. The 3-year program was funded by the World Bank to the tune of $10 million United States dollars, with Cordate Zimbabwe as the implementing partner. The vehicles are meant to improve operations of the health sector across the country in the spirit of leaving no one and no place behind.
What these mobile clinics will do is directly address access barriers. More than vehicles, they serve as bridges, bringing essential services to people's doorsteps and ensuring equitable, reliable, high-quality care for every Zimbabwean.
Today presents a practical milestone in our collective effort to bring essential health services closer to communities, especially those in hard-to-reach areas. As Cordate, we remain committed to complementing the government of Zimbabwe and collaborating with development partners towards strengthening national health systems and building on the gains already achieved under this project.
Receiving the mobile outreach clinic vans on behalf of government, Vice President Mohadi said the consignment represents a strong partnership that exists between the Zimbabwean government and its development partners.
The mobile clinic vans being handed over today are a powerful symbol of our commitment to equitable access to health care. They bring services closer to communities in remote and underserved areas, ensuring that no Zimbabwean is left behind. As the Shona proverb reminds us, chara chimwe hachiswanyi inda. One thing alone cannot crush a louse, they say. Umunwe owodwa kawutholi intwala. That's the Ndebele version. It is through collective effort, partnership and shared responsibility that we're able to build a health system that serves all.
Zimbabwe is developing various strategies aimed at improving the health delivery system across the country, and the launch of the One Health Strategic Plan this Thursday, as well as the handover from the World Bank, will move seamlessly with the government's vision of ensuring that everyone has equitable access to health care. Oline Ndori, ZBC News, Harare.
Now, all is set for the burial of a national hero, Brigadier General retired Mark Charles Chingwaza, at the National Heroes Acre tomorrow.
The body of national hero Brigadier General retired Chingwaza is now at Charles Kumbo Funeral Parlor, where it will lie in state ahead of burial tomorrow at the National Heroes Acre. The body was accompanied by government officials, relatives and colleagues, with family members applauding the government for the honor bestowed on Brigadier General Chingwaza. The government confirmed that all is set for the day. I can confirm that all is set for the burial of the late national hero, our illustrious son of the soil, Brigadier General retired Chingwaza. Our program will go as follows. Tomorrow morning, we expect members of the public to be seated at the National Shrine by 7 a.m. His Excellency the President will preside over the burial ceremony. I can also confirm that as a ministry, we have organized buses to ferry our mourners to the National Shrine. We have provided buses for Manicaland, buses for Harare Province. We have provided more than 50 buses for Harare and also 10 buses for Manicaland. Then the family, as per norm, has also been allocated buses. Brigadier General Chingwaza was born in Mtare in 1957 and he completed his primary and secondary education in Manicaland province. Brigadier General retired Chingwaza joined the liberation struggle in 1976 and received his military training in Mozambique. where he was deployed in several camps. He returned home in 1982, where he joined the Zimbabwe National Army as a private. Through dedication and discipline, Brigadier General retired Chimwaza rose through the ranks to become a Brigadier General until his retirement in 2022. He is survived by his wife and 3 children. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
President Emmerson Mnangagwa has declared a state of disaster after the road traffic accident which claimed 10 lives along the Harare-Mapanda road earlier this week. In a statement, the acting Minister of Local Government and Public Works, Honorable Felix Mona, says the declaration enables the government to mobilize the necessary resources that are needed to support the families.
We now take a look at other news where the First Lady Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa has donated seed varieties to the ZANU-PF Women's League in Harare province as she continues with her women empowerment and food security initiatives. Let's get the details.
More than 3,000 women from the ZANU-PF Harare Provincial Women's League have benefited from the First Lady Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa's unwavering compassion and motherly care after they received an assortment of seed this Friday. The gesture, yet another testament to Dr. Mnangagwa's deep-rooted commitment to uplifting communities, reflects her vision in championing food security and women empowerment. Speaking during the handover ceremony, ZANU-PF Women's League Secretary for External Affairs, Comrade Betty Nambukaseke, who represented the First Lady Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, highlighted the initiative is in line with the inclusive development approach.
Mashoko atatumwa nawo naamai mukati mezuva ranhasi ndeyekukurudzira madzimai eHarare kuti ngavashande vakabatana, ngavashande vachiratidzana rudo, uyezve vova madzimai anoshanda vasingadzokere kumashure, madzimai anotsigirana, madzimai asingatarisirane pasi.
Beneficiaries applauded the First Lady as a true mother of the nation.
Tiri kufara zvakanyanyisa nebasa raitwa naamai zvavatipa mbeu idzi takutoenda kunosima.
Kuna amai vedu vanotiyeuka zuva nozuva, tiri kunzwa kufara, tiri kunzwa kutenda. Takutojara kumunda izvezvi kumapurasi.
Nhasi tafara tapiwa zvine utano, izvo mangwana tinokwera tichitorima tichitodzvara.
ZANU-PF Harare Province Women's League chairperson Comrade Barbara Mwale is equally grateful to the mother of the nation's benevolence.
Maguta ese atiri kuitirwa naamai vedu tinovatenda nekuvarumbidza nemabasa avo vari kuita kumadzimai. Vanotidzidzisazve kuti tigare zvakanaka mudzimba tichichengeta mhuri dzedu.
The seeds, which include sugar beans, cowpeas and sorghum, all known for promoting nutrition, align with Dr. Mnangagwa's vision under a gastronomy program which promotes traditional dishes. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
Joint teams from the Ministry of Tourism and Hospitality, together with the Zimbabwe Tourism Authority, have camped at the country's ports of entry in order to welcome visitors and tourism that are visiting the country during this festive season.
The festive mood is already gripping the nation. It is that time of the year when family and friends unite in order to create memories. And here at the Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport, it is a hive of activity as multitudes of people, including locals and tourists, are coming to Zimbabwe in order to enjoy this festive season. The expanded Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport has now an annual passenger carrying capacity of 6 million, up from 2.5 million passengers. And the Chief Executive Officer of ACZ, Mr. Tawanda Grusha, says they are prepared to handle the influx of passengers ahead of this festive season.
We have put in place a system that will ensure that continue to handle the numbers, especially during this festive period when we expect a lot of travel to be happening and a lot of visitors in and out of our airports. We are working with all the stakeholders to make sure that we are all hands on deck so that there is smooth facilitation, there is smooth delivery of luggage, so that we reduce even the waiting times of passengers as they wait for their luggage at the airport.
These are passengers who have just disembarked from Emirates and they are here collecting their bags from the carousel, and some of them are here after a long time in their respective countries, and they say they are excited to unite with their families and friends.
This is our first Christmas back in Zimbabwe after 25 years. There's no place like home, especially for Christmas.
Nice to be back here for the festive season and looking forward to just spending a wonderful time in Harare with my family.
We came here so we can see my mom's father and her sister and her brother.
I'm really happy to be back. I miss home, I miss family, I miss food, obviously.
The Chief Director in the Ministry of Tourism and Hospitality Industry, Ms. Tariraye Musonza, said they are at every airport around the country to welcome tourists.
We are here to welcome our brothers and sisters to Zimbabwe coming from the diaspora. We are encouraging them to invest, to visit the tourist attractions.
Zimbabwe was ranked #1 in terms of one of the most favored destinations in Africa by one of the most prominent magazines in America, and the country is set to leverage on this position in order to grow its tourism. And the influx of people here at the Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport is testament to Zimbabwe's growing prominence on the globe in terms of tourism. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
We have been covering the horrific murders which happened in Guruwe recently. Now, the 5 victims have been buried at various places in Guruwe and Murewa districts.
An outpouring of grief ensued at Ona Farm, where 66-year-old Grace Rija and her son Tendai were buried this Thursday. At Chikwidebe, some 30 kilometers away, Rija's daughter Lois Chiringaushe, aged 37, and grandson Tatenda Chirenje, aged 2, were buried the same day. The 5th victim of Sunday's incident, Takutswa Kariva, aged 5, was buried in Murewa.
Gogo wanga ari munhu aigona kugarisana nevamwe uyezve vana vadiki tiri kutotadza kuziva kuti ko mhosva yavangafire pasi pezuva ndei. Zvakaoma kunzi gogo vafa vasina kana kurwara, zvakaoma kunzi mwana mudiki afa asina kana kurwara.
Takanzwawo chitiko ichi chingoitika kune dzimwe nzvimbo atina kunge taziva kuti chiyasanganawo nepamusha pedu.
Izvozvo kuti vana vechikoroka takuto hana dzedu dzakutoita sei dzakutorova kuti ko zvikoro zvakavhurwa pakadai vana vanokwanisa here kuenda kupi kuchikoro.
Mashonaland and Central Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Christopher Magomo, joined mourners and consoled the families.
Tinorombo zvikuru but sehurumende tikuda kuti vanhu vange vane chivimbo nebasa rikubatwa nemapurisa. Tinozviziva kuti kana munhu asati abatwa mitauro inogona kuwanda kubva kunharaunda necommunity vachiita sekuti mapurisa asi kuita basa. Asi kutaura kwatiri kuita mapurisa ari in full force muGuruwe muno.
Chief Chipuriro convened the Council of Elders in his area and is now consulting spirit mediums to find out the cause of the brutal killings.
Ndirimunzira kuenda kumatateguru nda kuunganidza vose vatiudze kuti chinangwa ndecheichi, munhu uyu ndeupi. Tine chishuwo chokuti vanhu kana vari vaviri vatatu vana vabatwe vaende mumajeri.
Meanwhile, 2 more killings have been recorded at Nyakapupu, Guruwe. Mashonaland Central Police spokesperson Inspector Milton Mundembe confirmed the deaths. Tapiwa Machemedze, ZBC News, Guruwe.
Meanwhile, the Zimbabwe Public Police has intensified the manhunt for murder suspect Enimo Zvicha by offering a substantial monetary reward to anyone who provides credible information leading to his location as well as his arrest.
Zvicha is wanted in connection with a series of gruesome killings in Guruwe, including the recent murder of 5 members from Zvicha family at Ona Farm on 11th of this month. According to ZRP National Spokesperson Commissioner Ponyati, ZRP Commissioner General Stephen Mutamba has pledged that anyone who will assist with actionable information will be rewarded. Meanwhile, police are investigating another disturbing double murder in Guruwe, where an elderly woman aged 55 and a 6-month-old infant were found brutally killed at Farm 88 Nyakapupu on the 18th of this month. According to Commissioner Nyati in a statement, the victims suffered multiple head injuries. The ZRP is urging anyone with knowledge of the suspect's whereabouts to contact the National Complaints Desk on 0242 703 631, WhatsApp number 0712 800 or reach out directly to the officer commanding Nguruwe Police District, Chief Superintendent Marange on 071 90 10093 or report to any nearest police station. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
Elsewhere, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Advocate Jacob Mudenda, has rallied business leaders to work with Parliament on issues affecting operations viability as well as the economy. He called on the business leaders to provide input to Parliament in helping Zimbabwe realize its aspirations of yearly economic growth rates. Advocate Mudenda made the remarks at the recently held Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce Annual Business Review Conference in Harare.
The convening of this Business Review Conference embodies the crystallization of our collective aspiration for a Zimbabwe that is economically robust, industrially competitive, and prosperously must be inclusive. As I address you today, I do so conscious of the symbiosis that must exist between Parliament and the private sector. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, the theme of your deliberations this year is unlocking business potential through policy partnerships and productivity. It resonates deeply with Parliament's constitutional mandate and captures the essence of tripartite relationships necessary for sustainable economic development. Indeed, our collective endeavors must ultimately converge on the faithful implementation of the National Development Strategy number 2.
Remember, for these and other stories, you can log on to our website www.zbcnews.co.zw, and you can follow us on social media at ZBC News Online across all social media platforms.
Stories still to expect in this bulletin. In our business news, the banking community excited over the removal of foreign currency cash withdrawals levy.
And later in sport, AFCON transcending generations as Zimbabwe field youngest player, while Mozambique have the oldest at the tournament. The main news takes a break. Thereafter, we continue with the bulletin. Stay with us.
Zimbabwe inhaka yedu. Zimbabwe is our heritage. This festive season is the right time to travel.
Locals like
Zimbabwe 2025, #1 destination in the world, according to Forbes magazine. This festive season, travel local and experience our heritage. Zimbabwe, inhaka yedu, ilifa letu. Experience Zimbabwe. Zimbo.
Murewa. Namzu. Sasa ile kunaka anditika.
Saka sei usiri kudya huku.
Mashura.
Salsa nakapfura huku. Asi why badna? Salsa iri rakabikwa nechibage che National Tested Seed. Ndosaka mamaster farmer achienda ku National Tested Seed.
Shandisa imbeu dzemaguta NTS 51, NTS 45 kana NTS 43. Imbeu dzine early to medium maturity dzinokupa goho vakuru up to 10 tons per hectare. Zvakare ine high drought resistance. Manya pachitoro chiri pedyo newe ubate yako. Shandisa mbeu yesadza National Tested Seed, mbeu yehurudza.
That's how we take Saucy Platinum. Any questions?
The new KFC Next DC meal available now.
Sharing a ride to another city used to be my way. With InDrive City to City, it's my way. I choose my pickup and drop off, my price, my driver, and pay for just one seat. Share rides your way.
The Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe would like to warn all motorists to avoid speeding at all times. Speeding can cause premature death and death to innocent lives. Do not be tempted by others to race because speeding kills. Do not drink and drive, as this can also lead to speeding, and this is hazardous to life. This message was brought to you by the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe.
You're watching the main news on ZBC. Thank you for staying with us. As the nation commemorates Unity Day in the next 3 days, Zimbabwe's reflection on how national cohesion has revolved from a historic settlement into a driver of infrastructure growth and development under the Second Republic.
The annual observance, which marks the signing of the 1987 Unity Accord, comes at a time when government-led infrastructure expansion, economic stabilization, and devolution-led projects are visibly transforming communities across the country, underscoring unity as a practical tool for development rather than a symbolic ideal. ZANU-PF National Political Commissar, Comrade Munyaradzi Machacha, said Unity Day remains a living reminder that development can only be achieved in an environment of peace and collective purpose.
We have seen peace prevail, and we have seen uninterrupted continuous development taking place right across all sectors of our economy and right across all provinces. So for us, peace and unity are essential ingredients that will ensure that our country develops. So we recognize the 22nd of December, the day that the Unity Accord was signed, for that purpose.
Another ZANU-PF Politburo member, Comrade Richard Ndlovu, says the Second Republic continues to draw strength from the Unity Accord, translating political stability into tangible development outcomes across the country.
Abanikazi abasungula e-Unity Accord kabasekho sebedlula indawo eziningi sekusele abantu abatsha abangela lwazi lokuthi kanti khona size siye empini sasijongeni, kanti khona sesikhululekile siyenzani, abemakhaya bahlale kuphela ukhangela ukuthi bonke abantu baphakame bazikhulumele inhlupho zabo ngezigaba ngezigaba.
However, the spirit of the day extends beyond the walls of political power, as the call for oneness is seen as a moral imperative for the nation's future.
Siyagqugquzela kakhulu njengama-church ukuthi wakhona ukubambana lokhu kucontinue kukhona ukuze kusifikise kakhulu ku-Vision 2030 leza letha ezaguqula kakhulu impilo zabantu njengobana libona khathesi izinto eziningi sezitshintshile ngenxa yokubambana la ngokuthula okukhona elizweni. Sifuna ukuthi siyefika ku-Vision 2030 ngoba i-Vision 20 izasikhuphula kuleli banga ekade sikilo isifake ku-middle class i-economy yethu iphakame ifike lapho esifuna ukuthi ifike khona.
Unity Day, which commemorates the signing of the 1987 Unity Accord, has over the years evolved into a national symbol of reconciliation, inclusivity, and shared responsibility, values that remain central to Zimbabwe's Vision 2030. Hiland Moy, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Now, the government has set a target to produce 1.5 million tons of wheat by 2028, a move that will see Zimbabwe become a net exporter of the cereal crop.
In an exclusive interview with ZBC News in Harare this Friday on the sidelines of a year-end luncheon, the Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, Dr. Enchas Masuka, revealed that if the success stories of crop production achieved under NDS1 are anything to go by, Zimbabwe will hit 1.5 million tons of wheat by 2028 under NDS2 launched by President Emmerson Mnangagwa last month.
Zimbabwe and Ethiopia, perhaps the only two African jurisdictions that are self-sufficient in wheat, and we think that we have a wheat surplus of soft wheat of about 200,000 metric tons, and we began discussions with SADC countries to be able to export that, and those discussions are at a very, very advanced stage. And into 2030, we think that will be producing 1.5 million metric tons of wheat against our requirement of local wheat at about 450,000.
He said of major interest is the unveiling of a new wheat hard variety that is expected to end the importation of blending wheat.
What's exciting in the wheat sector is also that we now have a variety that can be grown locally and produce hard wheat characteristics, which is a high gluten content and also very high falling numbers. And we think that perhaps by 2028 or so, there won't be need to import the hard wheat component, which is 30% of what we want for purposes of blending, for gristing, for bread making.
With over 10,000 dams dotted across the country's wheat green belts, observers concur prospects for Zimbabwe to regain its status as the breadbasket of Southern Africa are bright. 10 Time Munengwa, ZBC News, Harare.
We now cross over to Marilyn Ngwenya, who is at Montrose in Bulawayo. Good evening, Marilyn.
And many thanks to you, Mona Lisa. In our following report, the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission says all logistical arrangements are now in place for the Nkulumane by-election, which will be held this Saturday. 9 candidates will be on the race.
Nkulumane residents will this Saturday head to the ballot box to elect a new parliamentary representative. It has been a grueling month of campaign by aspiring candidates, and it is now time for the electorate to vote for a leader who will represent their aspirations in the August House. Zimbabwe Electoral Commission ZEC Deputy Chairperson Ambassador Rodney Kiwa said it's all systems go for the Nkulumane by-election.
All material and human resources are in place. The constituency election officer and deputy, ward election officers and their deputies, presiding officers and polling officers for all electoral centers have been recruited and trained.
9 candidates, including ZANU-PF's Freedom Rechu, Triple C Motrice Ndlovu, Vivian Sibanda of ZAPU, independent candidates Esther Excelia Zita, Rodney Jele, Mbuso Fuzwa, MDCT's Ethel Sibanda, EFF Zimbabwe's Alson Moyo, and Nompilo Ncube Malaba of the Zimbabwe African National Congress are vying for the legislative seat. The seat fell vacant after the death of Honorable Desire Moyo in a road traffic accident in October this year. Polling stations will open at 7 in the morning and close at 7 in the evening. Mtokozi Stube, ZBC News.
The recently revitalized Community Economic Empowerment Trust framework has been described as crucial in promoting the nation's devolution and decentralization agenda.
The Enhanced Community Economic Empowerment Trust, approved by government this year as part of efforts to ensure wealth generated from national resources translates to tangible and sustainable development for communities, is an affirmation of the Second Republic's thrust to promote grassroots development through devolution.
By devolving economic decision making and wealth control to the districts level, the CEETS policy encourages community development that is tailored to local needs and resources.
Officiating at a two-day workshop held in Ulaya this Thursday to unpack the revitalized policy, the Minister of Industry and Commerce, Honorable Mangaliso Ndlovu, said the shift from the Community Ownership Trust to Community Economic Empowerment Trust represents government's renewed focus towards a proactive economic engagement.
This not only represents a change in name, but a change in focus, concentrating on proactive economic engagement by all economic trusts throughout the country. We want these trusts to broaden their scope beyond social development projects to local enterprise development, and therefore transforming our rural communities into industrial hubs.
The success of the Community Economic Empowerment Trust initiative rests on a number of development pillars that are designed to create an enabling environment for inclusive economic growth. Lisa Kodira, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Inmates at Marondera-based prisons have received an early Christmas present after they were gifted food items from the First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa.
The inmates, who are from the male, female and open prisons, received groceries in time for the festive season. The inmates thanked the First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, for the donation, which they say will make a huge impact during this festive season.
Zvaitona mama zvinhu zvinoyera-yera kana kuti zvakayera-yera zvinorema-rema zvisingangoitiki nje asi zvinoitika nekubudikidza nekuda kwaMwari vanenge vachisundaidza mama vedu kuti vagone kutirangarira mukati menzvimbo iyi.
Okuhle kuyabongwa, okuhle kuyajabulisa, kuyathokozisa. Sithi kumama indlovukazi, iqhawekazi, umama wesizwe akagadinwa lakusasa makayenze njalo. Ngizathanda ukubana ngimbonge ngesintu. Yani walonga izwi. Yani walonga izwi.
The Minister of ICT, Postal and Courier Services, Honorable Tatenda Mavetera, who handed over the hampers on behalf of the First Lady, said Dr. Mnangagwa is a loving mother who cares for the inmates and other disadvantaged members of the community.
We want to thank our First Lady for extending this kind gesture to us. Nenasi unovauya vachitipa magrosari ekuti tive tinawo chimashandisa munguva ino yekisimusi ngatiombere maoko. Amai vedu ndeamai vane rudo nesu, ndeamai vasina kutanga kuuya pano zuva ranhasi uno. Amai vedu vakauya pano vabva vaona vane muono wokuti takanangana nevision 2030 vanoda kuti mimi mukwanise kuva muchiwana zvekuti mukwanise kushandisa maoko enyu kuitira kuti kana muchinge mabva muno munoenda munoshanda kudzika kwamunenge muchigara.
Munhoroondo yekurangarirwa kwevanhu kana vanhu vachizorangarirwa marangarirwo ataitwa mhando nemutoo yemarangarirwo ataitwa rwendo rwuno namambokadzi venyika ino Excellency the First Lady of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, tarangarirwa nenzira nemhando inoshamisa. Dai kare kangu ndopa ndaimba kuti ndinoshamiswa kwazvo.
The ZPCS expressed gratitude to the First Lady for the donation.
Kubvira kusara kwandakaita
ndichidzirwa the late General Smart. Ndaramba ndichingobatsirwa namai pane Wasmo. Ende kazhinji kacho ndio ndinotoona wachiuya kujeri wachiwa wainesu hawasarudzi kuti ndiani kana kuti chii. Kana wambofunga kuenda kune wakomanawo woenda kune wakadzi, ndinoda kuti mundizvidzirewo shoko rekuti amai tinotenda chaizvo. Ndaakuona kuti mazuva ano ndofunga nekuramba vachititsigira kudaro taane maministers akati wandei aakuuyawo kuzoona kuti majeri uku kwakamira sei.
Honorable Mavetera also toured the computer laboratory at the Marondera Female Open Correctional Institution. Gerald Sasa, ZBC News, Marondera.
The revitalization and expansion of Midlo irrigation scheme in Matobo district has transformed the community of Kezi, which used to rely on erratic conventional rainfall.
The site of a center pivot, new irrigation canals, a giant solar plant, and a thriving maize crop at Midlo irrigation scheme, tucked in the middle of the always dry Matoba district, has rekindled hope for many villagers who had given up on agriculture. This is the thrust that has been adopted by government and its development partners to climate-proof agriculture through irrigation development. For the youthful Blessed Sibanda, the transformation of their scheme from just being a garden to a thriving initiative has not only changed their lives for the better, but has set the community on a development pathway.
Kulomehluko omkhulu kakhulu owa before lakathesi ngoba before besizisebenza singumunye nomunye lendawo yakhe, so ubungeke ukuthole ukudla ukuthola kathesi sesi cooperative.
Izilimo zethu sezithola amanzi ngesikhathi esifaneleyo, sithole isivuno eseneleyo ngoba kuyabe kungekho okusileleyo.
The installation of modern irrigation system at this scheme has not only climate-proofed the community's source of livelihoods, but has set the once dry area on a transformation journey.
We are happy. Ngendlela esibona ukuthi i-livelihood yama-farmers isitshintshile.
Previously we had a target of around 12,000, but I think we are expanding in this area so that we can have our crops climate proofed, and we also have at household level food security.
Midlo irrigation scheme joins a long list of schemes that have been revitalized and expanded by government and its development partners in Matabeleland South Province, which include Sebasa, Makwe, Bambanani, Slalabuhwa, Kuyu, and Chikwara. Providence Maranelli, ZBC News, Matobo.
And our main news is off to a break. We will return with Malvin and Mona Lisa from our Pocket Soul studios in Harare.
Name me vacheri bang, name me o syndicate yang. Tari bacha gorite isusu tunange piko. Tari wana gorite isusu tunange piko.
Ndakananga ku fidelity vatengi vegoride vakavimbika. I want daita mariki, donanga fidelity. Makorokoza ku fidelity, ona daita mariki. Se ku fidelity, ona daita mariki. Mwana wese ku fidelity, ona daita mariki.
Fidelity ya peta bora, niwo vari kupa madhora. Vacheri vose tiri kufara, nyika yose iri kufara. Vanotenga mukutene mutengo uri pamusoro. Vanotenga mukutene mutengo uri pamusoro.
Ungava mucheri yachangotanga kana katanga kare, watengesera ku fidelity, watosimuka kare, ukatengesa ku fidelity, ne Zimbabwe yasimuka kare. Fidelity ndiyo inotenga mukute zviriba mutemo. Fidelity ndiyo inotenga mukute zviriba mutemo. Unakazawira mabuying centers eFidelity atekeshera Zimbabwe yose. Uye kutengesa mukute ku Fidelity unenge watengesa zvisina njodzi mukati.
As Harare grows, so does the need for smart, faster, more reliable transport systems. And today, the Mavuku Interchange rises as a bold symbol of progress, a modern gateway designed to keep our nation moving. The interchange runs on a smart twin bridge system designed to separate long-distance traffic from local movement and keep every direction flowing with purpose. The first bridge lifts all Harare-Mutare through traffic above the roundabout for a faster uninterrupted flow. The second bridge connects Mutare Road directly to Delport, giving drivers a clean elevated route away from busy lanes. Together, these two bridges keep the entire interchange moving with speed, clarity and safety. Beneath the overpass, a precision-designed roundabout handles all local routing. Drivers coming from Mutare and turning into Mavuku keep left, glide below the bridge and loop through the roundabout with complete control. Drivers from Harare or Mavuku who intend to reach Delport simply route through the roundabout before joining Delport Bridge, ensuring every direction has a clear and efficient path. As you approach from the CBD, the road opens into clear lanes. Through traffic to Mutare stays in the middle, and lanes rising over the main bridge for a smooth, uninterrupted flow.
Festive is here, Shah. First Street lights up, and suddenly the vibe is back. It stretches from Harare to Hollywood, even to Old Trafford. Je sais, Gilles Festive. All I want this festive season? The stories that keep us hooked. The ngoma, the rhythm, the laughter, the drama, the goals, the world-class entertainment that brightens up the holidays for the whole family. All I want is DSTV.
Thank you for staying with us. We now look at business, where the banking sector has applauded Treasury for removing the proposed levy on foreign currency cash withdrawals amid expectations of increased savings and depositor confidence.
In a major policy shift expected to consolidate the banking sector growth landscape, depositors have described the latest move as important in bolstering savings and consolidating financial sector confidence.
Zvatirerutsira mu-festive season inei takatasana neChristmas uyezve nema-school fees ari kuzotera January.
Zvakatotinakira stereki kuti taakuramba tibhenga nemabanks, hatichaisi mari pasi pemapilo.
That will lessen the risk of people keeping large deposits of money in their homes.
Even the banking sector is upbeat about the growth of deposits after the removal of a proposed levy on foreign currency cash withdrawals.
As we continue to drive towards digitizing our economy and making sure that the financial flows or the money in this economy continues to flow into the banking sector, that this move supports the growth in what we will see in deposits from a banking sector perspective. It also allows us to continue to drive the digitalization programs that we have from a banking perspective. And we do believe that this is a pro-banking stance that really helps us to continue building the financial savings and encouraging the public to continue bringing their savings into the banking sector.
Presenting the 2026 national budget last month, the Minister of Finance, Economic Development and Investment Promotion, Professor Mthuli Ncube, had proposed a 2% levy for individuals on monthly withdrawals between 500 United States dollars and 1,000 United States dollars. The same 2% fee would have been effected to companies on withdrawals of 5,000 United States dollars to 10,000 United States dollars per month. For higher amounts, the fee would have been increased to 3%. However, after concerns from the public, Treasury has scrapped the entire proposals. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
Still with our business news, the Eureka Mine gold production is set to hit 2 tons of gold this year, cementing its position as a success story of the Second Republic's Open for Business mantra.
Eureka Mine is a hive of activity. Behind me is the open pit, operated by 3 shifts that work around the clock for 365 days a year. At least 1 million tons of materials are moved from this open pit each year. After years of care and maintenance at Eureka Gold Mine, Dalaglio Investments, the mining arm of Victoria Falls Stock Exchange listed Padenga Holdings, took heed of the Zimbabwe's Open for Business mantra by the Second Republic and resuscitated the mine, which has been growing in leaps and bounds since then.
We started operations in September 2021, and since then we have been doing very well in terms of gold production. We quickly hit our nameplate capacity in terms of production. Plant production. We are now milling, the nameplate capacity was 100,000 tons a month of ore delivered to the mills. We are now sitting at around 120,000 tons per month.
Despite the success, the Gurube-based gold mine has faced power supply challenges, leading it to commence construction of a 20-megawatt solar farm, and the initiative has just kicked off.
Work has already started, and by January we'll have the first power moving by mid-year to 5 megawatts.
Dalaglio invested in a successful exploration program that has seen the gold mine's life being extended from 2032 to 2039. Tapiwa Machemeze, ZBC News, Gurube.
We now take a look at what's happening in the arts sector. The stage is set for the Bulawayo Arts Awards, which are penciled for the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair this weekend.
The 8th edition of the awards ceremony, expected to be a night of glitz and glamour, will see creatives from the City of Kings and Queens being honored for their sterling work in different art categories.
We are 1 day away from the 8th edition of the Bulawayo Arts Awards. We are excited. Preparations are in place for what promises to be a memorable night of celebrating arts excellence in Bulawayo. Our team, our partners, our creatives are fully ready to deliver a world-class event that honors the hard work, talent, and impact of our local arts industry.
The one who will walk away with the People's Choice Award is said to be the biggest winner at the award ceremony.
The People's Choice Award has a history of changing lives. In previous editions, winners have walked away with major prizes, including housing stands and even a car.
The award ceremony will be punctuated by performances from some of the country's heavyweights in the entertainment industry. Lisa Correa, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Well, now music lovers will be spoiled for choice this weekend with major concerts lined up across the country, featuring a mix of legendary local performers and a highly anticipated international reunion.
The weekend rhythm starts Friday night in Chitungwiza with the Chi-Town Shutdown. Sungura legend Alec Macheso and his orchestra Mberi Kwazvo will headline the event, supported by Amaduve Sasha. On Saturday, the focus shifts to Kadoma, where the Highbury Lounge marks its 2nd anniversary with a diverse musical showcase. The celebration will feature performances by the soulful Jays Marabini, hip-hop star Saint Flo, along with Rayma and Prince Chigwida. Sunday brings a major event to the capital with the return of the Unplugged Zimbabwe Festival at the First Capital Bank Sports Club in Mount Pleasant. The headline act is the iconic South African house duo Liquid Deep, who are returning for this performance after an 11-year break from the music scene. The duo, famous for hits like Fairy Tale and Alone, will be joined by a powerful lineup of local acts including Saint Flo, Delroy Shewe, Melissa, and guitarist Silent Norm. Organizers describe the festival as a love letter to long-time fans and a welcome to a new generation, promising a family-friendly day of live music, food, and a dedicated kids zone. Farai Gwaze, ZBC News.
We will be looking at our sports news straight after this break.
Welcome to Anafi High School, a center of excellence, discipline, and character where every learner is guided with wisdom and shaped for success. Located in Concession Mazoe, our doors are opening January 2026, and we're now enrolling Forms 1, 2, 3, and Lower 6. Our Cambridge curriculum is delivered through modern classrooms and advanced science and computer labs, with boarding facilities that redefine student living. Give your child the foundation to excel. Contact us on the details below or visit anafihigh.com to begin your enrollment today.
Sharing a ride to another city used to be my way. With InDrive City to City, it's my way. I choose my pickup and drop off, my price, my driver, and pay for just one seat. Share rides your way.
This is AFCON, my friend. Everything is a competition. Everything.
Here they come for the opening game, and away we are here at the African Cup of Nations.
Join our family meeting from the 21st of December to the 18th of January. Purchase a decoder for $30. AFCON 2025, live on SuperSport.
Thank you for staying with us. We now take a look at sports news. As the Africa Cup of Nations kicks off in Morocco this Sunday, Zimbabwe will field the youngest player at the tournament, 16-year-old Tadiwa Chakuchichi, while neighbors Mozambique field the oldest player at the tournament, 42-year-old Elias Pelembe. This brings to the fore a striking generational contrast at this year's tournament.
At just 16 years of age, Zimbabwe's Tadiwa Chakuchichi arrives at the Africa Cup of Nations as the youngest player at the tournament. For the Warriors, his inclusion is more than a sentiment. It is about statement of faith in the future. Chakuchichi steps onto Africa's biggest football stage, carrying the hopes of a nation eager to turn a promise into progress. The teenager has already shown his capabilities and qualities and has already captained the national under-15 and under-17 sides. The youngster played 8 matches for Premier Soccer League champion Scotland, scoring 3 goals. Across the border, Mozambique offer a powerful counterpoint. Elias Pelembe, commonly referred to as Dominguez, at 42 years of age, becomes the oldest player at this year's finals. A veteran of many battles who spent 16 years in the South African Premiership, Pelembe brings experience forged over decades, where reading of the game matters as much as running it. His presence in the Mamba squad is a reminder that leadership, composure, and wisdom remain priceless commodities at the highest level. Between Chakuchichi and Pelembe lies a 26-year age gap. Yet the Africa Cup of Nations makes them equals. They will stand for the same anthem, chase the same dream, and compete on the same pitch. As the tournament kicks off, AFCON once again proves that football belongs to every generation. From Zimbabwe's youthful promise to Mozambique's reseasoned resolve, the beautiful game continues to tell stories that stretch far beyond 90 minutes. Lawrence Truseda, ZBC News, Harare.
Meanwhile, in news just received, midfielder Andy Rinemota has announced his withdrawal from the Warriors camp due to an urgent family matter. Now, the midfielder released a statement on his social media platforms, and you can also visit our social media platforms for this story in detail. Now, away from this AFCON action, action is also happening on the local scene because the Premier Soccer League has released the fixtures for the 2026 season, with league action set to kick off on the 6th of March.
In a commendable first for the country, the Premier Soccer League has released the fixtures 3 months before the start of the season. Over the years, fixtures were being released on the eve of the campaign. Meanwhile, ambitious newcomers Hard Rock will get a stern test of character as they face champions Scotland on the opening weekend of the league. It won't be an easy first bite of the PSO cherry for the promoted sides as Agama travel to Harare for a date against Cape United. FC Hunters face runners-up Moors, while returnees Blair Chiefs tackle Highlanders in a city derby. Fans do not have long to wait for the Better of Zimbabwe as Dynamos host Highlanders as early as week 2 of the upcoming season. The Red Derby featuring Cape United and Dynamos is set for the 10th of May as matchday 11 takes center stage. The PSL has confirmed all dates for the first round of matches, while dates for the second round will be confirmed once the international calendar is released. Lawrence Trusida, ZBC News, Harare.
The curtain has come down at the 2025 African Youth Games in Luanda, Angola, where Zimbabwe beaming with pride after the country's athletes concluded the games with a stunning medal haul of 21, doubling last year's tally of just 10.
The curtain call was nothing short of spectacular, with the rowing stealing the show on the final day against the stunning backdrop of Luanda seaside. And what a finale it was. Guy Anandao and Tungamire Chinamo made waves in the boys' doubles, clinching bronze, while Paidamoyo Chamnorwa and Tawana Nyasha Chakona rocked the girls' doubles, begging silver. Chamnorwa then went on to win silver in the girls' singles, with the Chinamo following suit in the boys' singles. The mixed double duo of Anandao and Chakona rounded off the medal haul with a bronze. These 5 medals from rowing propelled Zimbabwe to a record-breaking 21 medals, comprising 3 gold, 6 silver and 12 bronze. As the team bask in the glow of their success, eyes are already on the 2026 Dakar Youth Olympic Games.
Our total medal haul currently stands at 21. We've got 3 gold and 4 silver, and then we've also got 11 bronze medals. So that really is very much a lot in line with what we're expecting. We think there's an improvement in terms of the number of athletes that we're getting, the competitiveness of those athletes vis-a-vis their African counterparts, as well as the performance as well that we're seeing in terms of our medals. So there's definitely an improvement in how we're working, and we think this is a good baseline to work for towards Dakar for 2026.
Meanwhile, the closing ceremony of the games is set for this Saturday. Anna Shimrombedzi, ZBC News, Luanda.
And that concludes the main news here on ZBC. Thank you for watching. I am Annalisa Dube.
And my name is Malvin Matawa. Noble was on sign language, not forgetting Marilyn from our Montreux studios, as well as the entire crew behind the scenes. Have a good evening.